I don't know why it's saying stream offline. You should be streaming, ready to go. Alright, stream's up and kicking on TradingView. I see myself, I hear myself. Welcome to another session of chart mastery, right? And we've seen a lot of blood in the streets today. We've seen it on crypto, we see it on stocks. I'm just kind of pulling up our indices page, right? I did try to get us in the VIX positions early on, right? On the 15th of November, try to get us in the $24 VIX calls because I did see this as a blow off, and I was very skeptical about the run up, and I figured that VIX was the best bet, right? Because SPY puts were pretty pricey. The risk return on them was rough. So I'm gonna cover the stock market. I'm gonna cover BTC. I'm gonna cover alts. I'm gonna cover a bunch of everything you guys throw at me too. Kind of wanted to lead with the blood we're seeing in the stock market. I did put up analysis on YouTube yesterday of AMD, and it's following it, right? It's following it real quickly. Since we're on the BTC chart, let's dive into that. And then so I'm gonna cover BTC. I'm gonna cover Litecoin. I'm gonna cover Ether. I'm going to cover Luna just because it's doing something very different than all the other charts. And I'm going to cover the QQQ, the S&P, AMD, Apple, Facebook, some of the bigger tickers, bigger name tickers, and then we'll take on all the suggestions you guys want. Start off with BTC, the Big Daddy, the king of cryptos, right? What's Big Daddy up to? Well, we're getting a revisit of the 50% fib retracement off the last swing, right? So if this holds, if this retest holds, right, and we get a close here and a turnaround, that would be bullish, right? I think it was. I mean, we saw this descending broadening wedge that didn't really play out. And with these descending broadening wedges, there tends to be a shakeout leg, right? And like we saw a descending broadening wedge here. I'm not saying these are the same. On some of these formations, right, just because it didn't work out doesn't mean that we can't see a liquidity grab slightly below before it eventually plays out. So I'd be patient with it. I'm not like perma-bulling here. I'm not saying, all I'm saying is this is what I'm looking out for, right? I don't have a margin trade on BTC. Like haven't had anything that I would play out as my edge to the T, and I didn't want to like compensate, come in too early on a short. You know, my short would have been here, but that wasn't a 61.8. It didn't even get up there. We didn't quite trade at that red line, right? We never traded there, and that's why I didn't really execute on that short. So now I'm just waiting for something that speaks edge to me, and the only thing that speaks edge to me is a 50% retracement we're about to see right now. In terms of like this range breakdown, what's like the last resort extensions? Think if you hold at 54,518 would be decent, right? That'd be a decent level. I would consider that a successful retest. We'll come back into this towards the end of the stream. I'm sure it's going to keep going. The sell-off is or turn, like, you know, price action isn't over. I'm not going to cut the stream right now, but we'll come back to it. You guys smash that like button, whatever platform you're watching on. Let's look at Litecoin. I signaled along and it just got stomped out. Let's do the daily. Remove drawings. I'm going to cover this last extension because that's the one they gave me my long at like 182. Right? And let's make this chart on log. Looks like we're possibly heading back down there. Right? I did say that we're going to see a retest of 196, and I said that in Discord, and we didn't quite get that retest. It just dumped straight through it, right? 198 at this point. It just dumped straight through it. Yeah, I'd like to see some kind of hold here, right? Even if you extend this last micro move, we're past the levels I like to counter. It's looking kind of sketch. The last resort would be the previous low because we are below the yeah. I mean, if 190 goes, then I think we'll easily go back to 181. So I feel like eyes are on 190 on Litecoin. We could dump down, like we could. But if I would expect 190 to hold in my bullish bias. VIX flying. Let me look at VIX. Hey, bro, I can only hear you in one ear. Anybody else having audio problems? I can crank this up a little bit. Is this better? All right. Let's check out VIX. Right, I started this video with why I called VIX on the 15th, right? I got us in VIX $24 calls on the 15th, right here, right? And the target was 25. Target 1 was 25. Now that we're seeing the peel off, we're above 27. If we close above 27, that's pretty freaking good, right? Because generally speaking, these VIX moves, they tend to stop at the 61.8 if it's not a real crash, right? And the reason I targeted 25 is I was going after the smaller retrace, right? And I just wanted us to sit in the money at the target. And now we're pretty deep in the money, right? We're about $5 in the money, right? But generally speaking, we see 61.8 retracements on the VIX. So if we close above 27, just hang on to those VIX calls. We got 3 more weeks on them, right? And in 3 weeks, if we go through, I don't know if this is an Omicron crash or just a deflationary period, but if we go through something like COVID again, or even September, which one was September? July, August, September. The September crash, right? We had VIX calls and we sold them too early. Thanks, MTS. Yeah, bro, I know you got it on the VIX. And I'm so glad you did. That was like the one trade for right now that everybody almost had to be in. So if we see something like September, right, the VIX didn't start pulling back, didn't ease off until the gaps filled on the S&P, and I'll show that. All right, let's go to the daily. Was this September crash? Yeah. All right, that September blow off. Let's remove indicators. There was this gap right here at like 326 on the 18th, right? And I think that's exactly when the VIX stopped. So I'd look for something similar. September 4th. Was that it? March? Can't find it. I guess it cooled off before then, right? It cooled off on like the 3rd or the 4th. Yeah, I'm still hanging on to VIX, right? We'll see how the current gaps fill and what price action does. And we do have some, we don't even have to go off gaps. We could just go off the retests, right? And that's another reason why I picked short exposure for now, is because we were missing almost 2 retests, right? We were missing 2 retests. Hey, guys in Discord, I'm going to tell you to please not ping me if I'm streaming. Do not ping me in Discord. Do not do that. Ping me in the stream. 448 is a retest that we were missing, right? 393 is a retest that we're missing. So I'm going for 448 at least. And what's going on in terms of the larger picture, right? We had a 61.8 of this last move, of this breakout move. We're almost there. We're almost there, guys. I think 447 is one of our targets. I have the targets pulled out. And I think 444 at this point should be safe. Let's go back to the targets from the stream. Not from the stream, from Discord. Yeah, looking for 447, 442, 436, right? So let's wait for 447 before we take any more profits on the VIX. It's already a free play. Let's look at Ether. I kind of jumped the gun. Got excited about the VIX and the S&P. Ether's looking tricky, man. It's just so much noise, so much chart noise. I don't like that. I look ready to go, but then we see rejection at that 46.67, which is a 786. Didn't close above. Now we're seeing a pullback. I don't think it's done. I think the markets are just doing this volatility move, shaking everybody out left and right. Like, I like the volatility because it's giving us big moves, right? And we can trade them on leverage, without leverage, using options. Like the AMD short was sick. You know, I signaled the AMD puts at the top, and then we added, right? We added on the high day. 1210 on 1126. We got 1210 145p. We're in the money. Not 1210. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. 1126. Yeah, 1126 was the signal day. So, we're at 157. Now we're at 142. And I did make a video analysis on this. And I do think we're gonna pull back a little more, right? So the targets from that one, they're in Discord, and we're at like target 1, right? We have target 2, and then target 3 and 4 would be like 124. So we'll see how we get. We'll see what happens when we get there. What do you think of Riot? They are scaling to mine 15k BTC a year. Acquire electric company, bought a bunch of sick miners. That's a great story. What does the chart say? And what does the market say? You can mine all the BTC in the world, right? But BTC price is coming down. Right? What does the chart say? It's really important. It's more important than the story of the company and what they're doing. Right away we see compliance, right? The breakout at the 61.8 right here. Right? And then a run up. We see resistance at 63, support at 24 and 21. At this point, I'd look out for these levels again. I'd look out for these lower lows. Especially if this range breaks down. I mean, long term, I'd be bullish, but it did have a crazy run up. I mean, I remember when Gats was calling out Riot at like $1 something, right? And this thing's up 1,500% right now. So, I mean, we could see some profit taking. This is the stock market. Charts precede news, exactly. Thank you. I think charts tell a better story than news too. I wanted to cover Luna, right? I did signal this at like 43 like last week. It's still ripping. And I think the next target, I think we're getting close to next target. And I was seeing a rising wedge, and it retested it and it threw it back into the wedge. This is a chart of interest. If this starts breaking down, I'm out of my margin trade, right? If this trend line breaks, I'm going to stomp out on margin because it's been a fun run. You can always pick it back up at some point. But I did signal Luna like 43, right? With a stop at 41. So we did have a really nice swing up on this one, right? Up 58%. Beautiful entry. I do think, the target's going to be in the 70 to 72 range, so you could see it chop out a little bit before shooting up again. And also, this is one of those, like, maybe, like, buy the next dip, too. Getting some alerts on my phone. All right, what charts do you guys want me to cover? I'm getting some Chinese alerts, some Chinese stocks, Visa alerts. Visa's at one of my entry points. Let's check Visa. This thing's holding. At this point, I want to look for a retracement trade on Visa, right? Because that's what it's doing. And it looks like 193 is holding. So at this point, I'd wanna try to shop some calls on Visa. Let me pop up a notepad. I'll signal them in Discord, right? Just I'll see what we get on this one and then shop it out. But ideally, I'd want to target at least the next 61.8, and I'm gonna go off here. So I think 209 would be the target. Maybe we trade that with 202 calls and like take profit as we get close. What do you guys want me to cover? Let's talk about some shit coins or stocks, or hit me with something. Link, dude, I can't be freaking stop. Well, we did have a good run. We did hit my target, and I did signal that we did hit my target, right? Like, I signaled the entry, and I signaled, hey, we're at target, everybody, right? And Link's looking decent right now. Yeah, I think if this low, if 2383 holds, I'd want to counter it again, long it. It's a 61.8. It's pretty bullish, right? Buy dips and sell high. We did just get out here, so we're below yesterday's entry. I think that's typical of Link and what it does before a big run, as it chops up and back down, just bull trap, bear trap, bull trap, bear trap. So I like Link for re-entry. Just gonna move this up here. What else do we have? Let me pop an entry on Link behind me. I'll be right back. Alright, thanks guys. I like it. Let's look at Adam. Jeez, this thing's flying. Nice. Who just called that? Bitcoins, dude. Nice find on Adam. Let's see if it's at a 61.8, right? If it's doing a bear retrace. It likely could be. This thing's too choppy. Alright, let's look at it now. There's obviously something pinned here. We see resistance 2-3 times. So I'm going to take this swing high and come down to this swing low. Not quite a 61.8, is it here? I think it's here. Ideally, I mean, this thing could pop off. If it's actually going to pop off, like, this would be the level it would just get going at. In terms of long-term fibs, the possibilities there. It borderline looks like what Luna did, except for Luna isn't like in this range of extensions. It's just a little lower. It could go to 50, man. It could go to 50. What's up, Joe? Adam could go to 50. If it closes above 33, 34, I could see it shooting straight up to 50. Just like what Luna did from 43 to 70. Alright, what else do you guys have? If not, I'm going to go back to the ES and play around with indices for a bit. Jeez, look at that. Still falling. Not quite a new low. It's actually holding. I wonder what's holding up here, right? Like, why are we seeing support? Ah, it's that 50% retrace, right? And I think if we go off the breakout continuation, no, okay, not quite there. I think we're gonna see another leg down. I think we'll see 4,500, just like a micro leg. Come on, guys, show me some tickers. If not, I'm gonna wrap up the stream and get back to Discord, to Discordia. Did I cover? I covered AMD, Apple. We've got some Apple calls. I've not pulled out of these Apple calls yet, right? Because they're months out. They're months out. Maybe it's time to maybe trim the position down. What do you guys think? The reason I stayed in, because we saw that bounce off 157 yesterday, right? And we added yesterday. Because we got in before this big daddy up candle, right? And we saw our calls go like up 80%. And then the next day was a down day. We're back at entry, so we added over here. I think as long as 157 holds, I'm gonna stay in the Apple 3 months out, 190s, right? We're kind of below this trend line of the wedge. I'd give it a little more time, man. I'd give it a little more time, and my hard stops at 156, 157. Dude, man, good job on the short. I've not covered SHIB. I'll look at it. That's funny. First time Joe popped into the stream, he mentioned SHIB. I said short it, and he shorted it, and he freaking, I think it was like right here, and then we shorted it 2-3 times. Yeah, we covered it 2-3 times, right? And it was just continuation after continuation. So with this one, right, that was a 61.8. There's so many of these 61.8 continuations. Today's stop was probably another 61.8 off this move. Yeah, it's so like it's doing the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just a matter of do we see it or not, right? I wouldn't get too greedy shorting something like SHIB because like the short's been working so much. At some point it's gonna backfire. So just move your stop to profits, right? And then here we have another swing continuation that just kept coming down. Right, these were 50s. That was a 50, so it got more bearish. And this was that was a 61.82. I wanted to short this one, but I missed it. Good job, man. Good job shorting it. I'm glad you see the dark side. Tight. DXY looks tricky. I got pinged the USD chart from a buddy, and they said, "Hey, you think dollar's gonna crash?" And I'm like, I'm not even trading the dollar. I don't care what it does. I'm just looking at my charts, right? Because I don't think it's gonna affect anything what the dollar does at this point. Dollar's a joke. Let me look behind me, see what else got going on. Really good bounce off link, right? Really good bounce off link. I want to bring up a chart that you guys asked me about a couple weeks ago. I said, I'm not touching it, right? And it's Facebook. And then somebody else said, hey, inverse head and shoulders on BTC, right? And I'm just like, this was in Discord. Desmond was like, hey, inverse head and shoulders on BTC. I'm like, hey, remember the inverse head and shoulders on Facebook? Everybody in the stream wanted me to trade. And I said, hey, I'm not touching this, right? Just because we see a pattern doesn't mean it's real, right? I don't know if it was more of an intuition than anything on this one. I just didn't like it at all. Why you guys keep paying me in Discord, man? Fucking streaming. All right, new rule. If you ping me in Discord while I'm streaming, you will not get a response for 48 hours. So, what do we see on Facebook? Where is support going to be for Meta, right? The metaverse? So silly. Jeez, so we broke 311, right? This is looking... Wait a minute, this is looking like support, right? If 298 holds, we might want to counter it. So this might be a good time to start looking at Facebook calls, right? I'm gonna add that to my notes. You might have like one more down day, but if 298 holds, I like it. If not, then we're going for a freaking meltdown at like 207, retesting 199. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think there's a lot more free money in the market. Twitter, I added to Twitter today. I literally added to my Twitter 2023 $100 calls today. They're freaking cheap, man. They're 99 cents. $100. That gets you a $100 call, right? I think this is a big retest. I think we can go down to 39. We can go down a little bit more. Actually, I don't know if we could, right? But I really like it because we're slightly below this major 61.8 retracement of this mega last swing. So if we're going to get bullish continuation, it should be happening here or here. Worst case scenario, I sell out if we dump below 39, right? But I do think we should see support happening in the next day or two. All right, fam. Thank you all for tuning into this stream. I'm not getting a whole lot of tickers thrown at me. Make sure to join us on Monday in Discord or hop in now. Monday, I'm gonna open up the channels again. We're gonna do money Monday, where stock market channel is open for everybody. Yeah, thank you for tuning in to the stream. Stay safe. Have a good weekend. I'm gonna shop out Visa and Facebook, and I'll drop those in Discord for the VIPs. Other than that, thanks for tuning with us. You guys with VIX, the vaccine. VXX is the only vaccine you need for the market. It works on Omicron. It works on regular COVID. Works on all of them. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'm ranting at this point. You have any questions? Show me charts in Discord, and I'll get